Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another video of Cooks with Iron. Hey, today we are outside working, and I don't know how well you can hear me, but I want to give you a quick video of what we're doing today because tomorrow is the meetup, and I am excited to be in Kingston and to not be out here doing this today. I had told you before that my parents were moving and they bought some land. And on that land, they are building a resort. Let me show you what my dad's doing. Right here, there's my dad. He is covering up the electric line. He's been doing that with the bulldozer and the backhoe. I've got my son up here. He's mowing somewhere. And then my second mom, she's up there also. It's hard to point. The second mom, she's up there and they're picking up trash. And then we've got people working on the swimming pool deck. I'm up here just doing what I can when I can and doing what's best for everybody, helping pick up, helping build deck, and doing videos. So I'm gonna get off here real quick. Anything else interesting comes on, I'll show you guys what's happening out here. Anything else interesting's here, we'll show you what's going on. But for right now, this is what we're working on, and I'm ready for the meetup tomorrow, and I will definitely record most of that. See you guys in a little bit. Thanks. Bye. All right, I'm going to show you real quick. This is what we have going on right now at the moment. We have this backhoe. It's not quite stuck, but we were digging this electric line with it. And what happened is, as my dad calls it, it just don't have enough punking anymore. So he can't lift himself out of this hole. So my son's going to do the backhoe. My dad's going to do the bulldozer. They've got them chained together, and he's going to pull it out. So let's see how this goes. Oh, they scare me when they do things like this. Watch the back tractor behind you. Looks to me like they got it out. Oh, them boys. It's a good backhoe. It does what it's supposed to do, but sometimes it just don't have the strength that it used to have. It's an older model. Alright, we'll be back in a few minutes. When there's something else exciting going on, I'll bring you back. Good morning, everyone. This is Sunday morning, and would anybody like to guess where I'm going today? Anybody have a guess of where I'm going or what our plans are today? I've mentioned it a couple of times, but just want to let you guys know that I am going to Kingston to the Arms Family Homestead meet and greet or meetup today. I have a lot of things that I need to get done this morning before I go. I need to check on all my gardening stuff. That's why I'm outside this morning real quick. And then I got to feed my chickens, and I need to go inside the house and I need to do a few chores. Just a regular old washer, dryer, dishwasher. Things have just gotten neglected this weekend. I have been busy helping my family, and then you'll see that on the front of this vlog. We was doing some of that yesterday. I didn't get a lot of it done because I was busy working, but I was helping my family, and then today I'm going to get some chores done before I go to the meetup today with Arms Family Homestead and Leon Sloan in Kingston with Kingston's Greenhouse, I think is the name of his greenhouse. So I'm really excited to go. There's going to be some people that I'm going to meet today, and hopefully this will help with my channel. Hopefully it will help bring up some new subscribers. And I've been watching Daniel from Arms Family Homestead for probably the longest. I've been looking for people in Oklahoma that garden the same way I garden, and it was really hard for me to find people. And then when I finally got turned on to Daniel's channel, I think it's Houston's channel actually, when I finally got turned on to Arms Family Homestead, then I started watching Keeping It Dutch, which is in Oklahoma. And then I've also here recently got subscribed to Blackberry Ridge and the Crocker Family Homestead. So I've started watching their channels, and I'm really enjoying what I'm seeing. So if I want to grow my channel, I've got to up my game a little bit, I guess. So I'm outside this morning, gonna get the day started. I'll show you a little bit of today, and then on the way to Kingston, I'm gonna be super excited. I'm only about an hour drive, so I don't have to leave as early as everybody else. I seen that Crocker Family Homestead said they were leaving from Dallas and they were about to leave. So he's got a little bit longer of a drive than I do. As helping my family yesterday, I got a bad sunburn. I don't know if you can see it with all the sun that's shining on me this morning, but I got a really bad sunburn yesterday. I even had sunscreen on, but I'm in a little bit of pain this morning. But I'm going to push through and I'm going to get this day going. And I am so excited to meet everybody at the meetup today. Really super excited about that. But the problem we're having right now is a rabbit in my garden. Now, most of my things that I planted this year was in container gardening because I don't have a tiller this year. And so those are doing great. I am loving the method that Leon is teaching everybody. And I'm doing those. I'll show you those. They're doing great. Things are growing so well in those. And I am super excited about that. But I planted a few things in a little, like an old greenhouse that I had that don't have a cover on it. I planted a few things in there, and the rabbit is eating my broccoli. I have seen the rabbit every once in a while, so my husband said I need to set a trap out there to see if I can catch it. That way it will quit eating the stuff in my garden, because the only thing I planted in the garden was peas that climb on the poles. And I planted squash and zucchini, but it didn't come up. But now I think I see it coming up. And then I planted 3 things: broccoli, cauliflower, and cabbage, because it needs a little bit of room to kind of, grow and get big. And I planted those 3 things, or those things out there. And the rabbit we had little bitty broccolis on top, little bitty broccolis just starting to sprout, and he ate all the broccolis off the top. And then he has ate the broccoli all the way down to the stem on 2 or 3 of them where there's nothing left. And then he's starting to eat my cabbage leaves and cauliflower leaves. So we have got to get rid of this rabbit. So I set a trap out there, and I threw some carrots in the back of it. But I don't know if that's going to work to catch the rabbit or not. But I haven't even looked this morning, actually. So we're going to go look together. Need to slip me some shoes on. Need to feed the chickens. Check the trap. So I need to check the trap. I don't need to water anything. It's been raining here. Let's go check the trap. And let's check on my vegetables that are growing out there. And get ready for the day. I'm excited to go to Kingston this afternoon. It starts at noon, so I'll be leaving here probably 10:30. So we'll see you guys at the meetup in just a little bit, and I'll show you how everything's growing around here. Hang on. Okay, as you guys have seen before, that these 3 containers here is all, I thought it was onions that they were growing again in my garden because I didn't pick them last year, but they are all garlic. So this is going to be a ton of garlic. But they were growing in my garden. I pulled them up, my old garden that I can't till anymore. I pulled them up, I've replanted them, and they are doing great in this. So I want to make garlic powder, and I want to have dehydrated garlic and then fresh garlic that I can use. These are some of the container gardenings that I'm doing. I got the container gardenings going, and this is a tomato, and then beside it, if you can see right there, is some little tomatoes that are starting to come up. This is also, I planted 2 tomatoes in that one, and they're doing perfect. They've even, let me show you real close here, they've even got some tomatoes growing, so I'm excited. This is working so well, and everything's coming up so quick. This is all peas. This one, I planted 1 pepper here in this one, and I was trying to do some carrots with it, and there is a few that come up, but I don't know if they're going to live, because for a while this whole thing was full of carrots, and now we just have a few left. So we'll see how the carrots grow with the pepper. If not, we'll just have a pepper plant. This is a pepper plant with tomatoes in it, and they come from seeds, so we'll see how they do. And then this is the last pepper plant, and these are some are pepper, and one's a bell pepper, I think. And this is pepper with broccoli. My daughter loves fresh broccoli, and she doesn't come out and pick her own broccoli. That's one reason we need to get rid of the rabbit, because he's eating the broccoli that she loves. But we have this growing, so maybe this will grow. But I started it from seeds, so it may be a little too late. but these are doing perfect and I love this. So these right here are the peas that's supposed to wrap around the pole, and I will start giving them help now that they're long enough. I've got them on all 3 or 4 of these poles here. This is the squash or zucchini that has finally came up. I've got 2 of those. Oh, there's another one. Right there is another one. Whoops. Here's my trap with the carrots in it to hopefully catch the rabbit. Let's see if this works. So far, hasn't worked. This is coming up, and I do not know if this is a weed or a lettuce, but I did not plant it. But I do throw a lot of my scraps over in here, so I'm unsure what that is. But this is the broccoli right behind it, and you can see the broccoli right off the top is gone. But the one next, see, the broccoli's gone and almost all the leaves are gone. Then if you look here, right there, everything's dead. And then I'll go down to the end. But you can see as they go along in this row right here that it just gets worse and worse when you get down to the end. There's nothing left. But then these are my cabbages or cauliflower. These are cabbage. I've got 6 of those. And then these are cauliflowers. And you can see down at the very end how there's hardly nothing left. And then when you get closer, we still have some. So I have got to get rid of this rabbit. And the next thing I need to get rid of are these. I don't know, this stuff is already here, and I'll show you on the gate that we have. How it just grows up and vines up. And it is a mess, and I thought covering it or smothering it with these wood chips would make it quit. Well, it hasn't. So I'm trying to figure out how to get rid of that, or I keep it under control by I keep picking it and piling more wood chips on top of it, or this is soil from Leon that I got, and I love the soil. I'm going to get some more of that today. And so that's how we got it going on for right now. I have a rose bush right here behind the gate. Here's a beautiful rose bush that I have that's budding out. Here is a flower garden that I have that grows my irises. They are so pretty. I've got a really deep purple. It's very, very deep purple. I love this color. And then I've got a yellow and a light purple. And I just started a peach last year and maybe a stripe. I think I have white in here too. A ton of irises. But I wanted it to take over right here in front of this window. And so that's what I've got that growing. I've got a couple of of course, I've got weeds in here. I've got a couple of these trees that are growing, and I need to get rid of these, cut these things out. They're growing from this tree right here, so I need to get those cut out before they get too big. And then I'm hoping that eventually this whole bed will just be irises and no weeds like that right there. And then I have a couple of flowers that are these right there, and I don't know what kind they're called, but when they come up they're very beautiful, and I split those off this year where they'll have more to grow. And then I also planted both of these on a little hanging thing that I have out here by my chickens, a shepherd's hook, and they're finally growing, and they are these acorn squash. Can you see the paper? That's what those are, and I grew them from seeds, so I'm hoping that they were going to grow, and they should hang over and go down to the ground. So let's see if that works. Here's my little chickadees. I've got 2 chickens and a rooster, so I usually just get 1 egg a day, sometimes 2. So I'm going to feed them real quick with this cup of feed here. All right, see if you can see some of that. Now, feed the chickens this morning. I don't know why my chickens freak out like that. I'm not throwing the feed at them. I just put it in there. But for some reason, they have always done that. I'm going to clean out their water. I gotta go get them some more water. So I'm wondering why my chickens freak out like that when I put feed, or sometimes just even open the door. But one time I caught my daughter throwing feed at the chickens, and so I got on to her for that, but she hasn't done that anymore. But I see some people that go into their chicken yards and they hold them and pet them and the chickens come up to them. Well, not here. My chickens freak out when I come around, and I move them. I got them in this little chicken pen because there's only 3 of them. I move them every couple of days. Yeah, I have 2 eggs. I'll show you my 2 eggs. They're from one chicken because one of them lays brown eggs and one of them lays this green color egg. And I've got, oh, I didn't get the eggs yesterday. So I wanted my husband to come with us today. I was really excited that he was going to get to come and maybe meet some people. My husband is not a YouTuber. He's not much for YouTube. But I wanted him to come and meet people today and talk about stuff, but he has to stay home and mow. So, but he's going to stay home today. He's got to mow. I hate that for him. I hate that he can't come, but you know, that's what he's going to do. So, I'm going to go inside, get some chores done, and we'll meet up with you guys in a couple hours. Talk to you in a minute. Bye. Okay, so now that we've got the outside chores done, I'm going to complete my inside chores, which are going to be doing things like unloading the dishwasher, reloading it, getting the kitchen clean before I go, because all of that stuff has to be done. Even though I want to have a full day of fun, you can't always do that. Sometimes you still have to do parenting chores, which I wish we didn't have. The other day, when they had the tornado that was near us, we lost electricity for almost 48 hours. It was pretty close. So, when we lost electricity, the first night we were home because it didn't go out until that night when the tornado hit, which was like 9:30, 10:30, somewhere in there, the electricity went out. And so we stayed home that night, and we just opened a window so it would be cool enough while we were sleeping. Thank goodness we had a little battery operated fan that we set in the window so that we didn't get too hot. Well, then the next day, there was still no electricity. I kept getting notifications from our electric company saying that the electric would be on and what time it would be on. I got those all night long, but our electricity never came on that night. So the next day, while I was at work, I was getting notifications saying the electricity was going to be back on at certain times. Well, it never came on. So the last notice I got said that the electric would be on at 6 p.m. that night, which was almost 24 hours. So we didn't risk it. We went and stayed with some family members so we would have some electricity, because I told my husband possibly we would get those notifications all night long saying electricity was going to come back on, and it never did, or never would. So he said that's fine. We went and stayed with some family members, so we had a good hot shower and air conditioner for the night and TV and stuff to watch. We charged our phones, charged everything up, and spent the night with some family members. And then the electricity did come on that night. So it came on at like 8:30 at night, but we were already in bed, so we didn't even know electricity had came on. So actually that was almost 24 hours of no electricity. So my dad said the freezer would be fine, just, you know, don't open it, the big chest freezer we have, because that's what I was worried about. So I had said if electricity didn't come on that next day, that I was not going to go to work, and I was going to come home and start a generator and hook it up to at least our freezer. That way it could have a good 4 hours of refreezing. Be good to go for, you know, a while again, another 24 hours or something. So anyway, we didn't have to do that. Thank goodness electricity came on that night. Didn't have to worry about it. So I got my dishwasher done. I need to run do some laundry, put up some dishes. So I got a bunch of stuff going on. Let me start with putting up these clean dishes that I have over here that's dried off. I don't know how many times I can say I'm excited. I'm ready for this meetup. I'm ready to leave. I'm ready to get going. But I had to put some burn cream on my arms. It'll kill me. Got that done. My second mom made these for me, and she has really cute farmhouse ideas. And this one says baking pans, and I have a tote or a little bucket over there that's got a bunch of my baking pans in it, and I'm going to hang that on it. And then I have these that say snacks, pictures, because I had a crock pot and a slicer. I've got all these in little totes over there, and I can hang it on the handle. So she made these for me, and they're so cute. I'm gonna go put these on real quick. Video. Hey, can you guys see this? So like this one says crock pot and slicer, and I've got it right here. And so I'm going to put this on here. And then it's kind of long. Let's see if I can. And then it'll hang like that, showing that it's the crock pot. This is the one that's got all my pictures in it. So this one says pictures. So it's got a bunch of things like containers like this, and it's got my tea pictures in it. So I'm going to put this right here. So it's got my pictures. She's going to be so cute. I like it. I think it's a cute idea. Here's my snacks. That in here. And then on that side. Oh. I got all these gallons of water because I'm helping with a school project, and so I need to get all these moved and put on a shelf over here. I'm glad that I'll use those on Wednesday, or they won't be in here anymore. I tell you, as a mother, whenever you're gone for the day, doing something or helping someone else, things around here just get neglected. I like it when I'm on a routine and things I get to keep going all the time, and I don't have to. Makes it easier than missing a couple of days. And that's what I've done the last few weeks, is missed a couple of days of cleaning. You miss a couple of days, it just seems like things seem to pile up. I don't know how. Just the small putting up of everyday items. Whew. And emptying lunch boxes from Friday. Here it is Sunday. Girl, I think y'all are with me on this whole cleaning thing. Hell, this does not smell good. I forgot she took her lunch on Friday, and then they ended up having a party and didn't eat her lunch. So that's what's in there that doesn't smell good. But now we just have some gummies left over, and those will be fine. Now here we are in the laundry room. I need to get some laundry done, and then I've got a little bit here of my husband's work clothes. They stay on top of the dryer because we go through these quicker than anything. But sometimes I don't have time to fold them when I pull them out, and so I just throw them on top of the dryer. but I can't get to my lint trap or to my start button. So whenever I get a chance, I do try to come in here and fold them again or keep them folded. Of course, he digs through looking for something that he wants to wear for the day. Mostly, he has a really, he welds, so he has a really dirty job. So it's just old t-shirts and old jeans that he wears. We buy a pair of jeans, and when he wears them out, he puts them in his work pile. So that's kind of how this works. But sometimes I just throw them on top of the dryer. But let's see what I've got going on today. Get some of these folded up. I know some days are hotter than others, so he don't wear certain shirts on certain days. And sometimes he'll dig through and make a mess. Like any man, making a mess. But I love him. He works hard for us, and we really appreciate it. So whatever it takes. Right, come with me. This is a shirt that needs to be hung up, I think. I think it's a work shirt. He's got it in here, so we'll see. I have a couple shirts. I have a few to hang up. All right. So there's some hangers over here. My husband told me to find a system that works best for me, that makes the job easier on me of doing laundry, because I spend most of my time in here. So he said he doesn't care what he has to do, just let him know. So I think I've done a video on this before, I'm not sure. But up above the washer and dryer here, I have a little shelf. Well, I've put 3 collapsible bins on it, on that shelf. And what I do, it's pretty loud, what I do is I throw all of our undergarments, panties, bras, and underwear, I throw them up in there, and socks. And then, once a month or so, I go through, because each one of us has a different color, but once a month or so, I'll go through, and I will put those bins up, or I'll have whoever's bin they belong to, have them put it up. But that way I don't have to, every time I fold laundry, go put those things up. It just takes extra time. So right now, it's working. I've been doing it for about a year now, and I like the system. Now, there's some times that I'll sit down with 2 or 3 loads of laundry, and I'll just fold them and put them all up. But most of the time when I'm in here, I have just, most of the time when I'm in here, I have just enough time to get them out of the dryer, throw them up in the bins. I hang the shirts over here, or pants, and then put them up like a month at a time. But anyway. There's a shirt. Now I'll be here in one stack. So right here on the side, you can get to work and get to my start button. Everything else is underneath. All right. Let me ask you a question. Does anybody else use these dryer balls? I bought some from Norwax, and I think they were $30, $40 for 3 balls. And they're supposed to be wool balls. If you don't use these in your dryer, this is what they're for. It is a ball of wool. They're soft, and you're supposed to put them in your dryer, and they tumble around, and they help tumble your clothes, which is supposed to help them dry faster. Now, I bought these from Norwax, and I want to say they were $30 or $40 for 3 or 4 of them. I bought these at Walmart, and they are $4.95 for 2 or 3. So I bought a couple packages of these. So I've got probably 8 or 10 balls in there flopping around, hoping to help my dryer dry quicker. I don't know that it works, and I'm just wondering if anybody knows if these things really work, or did I just waste my money on buying these? So they just stay in the dryer all the time. When I get clothes out, I just... So, those balls just stay in the dryer all the time, and then I leave them in there. I never take them out. There may be one that gets in my laundry every once in a while, but I just throw it back in there. Alright, let me change these pants. I'm not going to start the dryer, that'd be too loud. But real quick, I'm going to put this basket of laundry, and I'm going to do who these belong to. And I even throw nightgowns up in there because we don't fold our nightgowns. So whoever's nightgown that it is, the only thing I don't put in there is just clothes. Everything else I throw up in there. Now these are my daughter's little tank top shirts, and I also throw those up in there because they don't fold. She has a drawer that they just go into. A lot of our stuff we have don't fold. It makes it easier, but these are her pants and I'll fold those. Hang them up for her. Shorts, undergarments don't fold. Let's see if I can both these. This really works for me. It makes it a lot quicker. I don't have to fold. Well, I don't have to put up as often. That's fine. I don't have to, every time I fold, I'll put clothes up. I just go, you know what, if you run out of clothes, if you run out of underwear or something, then you give it up. That's kind of the way we look at it. If you start looking around for something, find it. It's easy to put up. I try to do it whenever I can. Let's see, my clothes. Hang up. So this little sort of system seems to work pretty good. Usually my daughter has the most, so she has the most clothes that don't hang up. Most of her clothes are fold. But we don't fold, we just put in her drawer. It's hers. And then, when I'm done, I pick out all my husband's socks. He wears the most socks because he don't have flip-flops or nothing. And then I sort out my daughter's and put them in our two totes. Now, because mine are all the same sock, I'll fold mine real quick before I throw them up in there. There we go, and that's how I do that. And I hang out these few extra pieces that are left. Okay, I'm gonna get out here and get my chores done, and then I'm going to Kingston. We'll see you guys in a little bit. Bye. You guys see that? Perfect. Watermelon, cantaloupe, something like that, and then these are squash.
And my problem was
He is growing tons of stuff. Oh my goodness. Here is all of his greenhouses. He has rows and rows of them.